It's a podcast.
It's the podcast.
Cast. Sorry.
We need to have a. And welcome to Elsewhere. I'm Kat, and this is Skulls, and we are here for it. Like some kind of intro. Let's go.
Yeah, that's why we need a soundboard.
We do. Get away from me. My cat was in between my feet all day today, would not leave me alone. And I'm like, get away from me. I'm like, oh my God, I'm channeling you.
Look who decided to finally alert everyone that we have a podcast going.
Did me six just say something?
Yep.
Say something
Mr.
else.
Small Dick himself.
See, they're going to be here after Tom. That's okay, guys. We love you, but we want to make it shorter today. You can listen later. Anyway.
It's true.
He did not.
The convenience of the internet.
And there's our loving troll in the chat. I almost fell asleep for it.
Wait, who? Oh.
Savvy.
Yeah, what's
Because,
up?
I talk like...
Going
That's fine. I know that people are in
no.
Tom's live. I know that, he's talking about the video, and that's great. Y'all tell me about it later. I know that people are going to sleep. It's, 9 o'clock. Babies. I mean, old people. I mean, it's okay. I'm just kidding. We're tired, too.
Well, yeah, and I'm drinking, but... I'm actually playing, Seesaw with my hydration right now, because I'm, taking a swig of beer, and then I take a swig of water, and, I don't know how to feel. But the thing with, that video, I don't want to know anything about it, because I got to react to it. So, I hopped into live, I saw that he was, talking a little bit about it, and I was like, let me hop out.
Well, let me just tell you that Tom, on his lives on Facebook, he does not talk about he'll talk about stuff. He doesn't give hints. He is a freaking, Fort Knox when it comes to his shit. He does not talk about it. He kind of gives, he doesn't give hints, really. No, everybody leaves there thinking, oh, we just talked to Tom for an hour. And then it's we learned nothing. Do not even lie. We learned absolutely nothing. He's like, well, if you can get the hint that's over my shoulder and down the hall, we're like, oh, let's look. And we're like, nothing. Nothing. We all get it wrong. So, thank you, DK. I'm so sorry for your loss, hon. I honestly still praying for you. If you need anything, you hit me up, okay? But you need to...
I hope you're doing good.
Schools, you need to get out of the spoiler channel because you... not to go in there, obviously.
Yeah, no. I saw spoilers and Tom, and I was like, nope, not going in there.
There's been some serious conspiracy theories. My favorite was when Struggle Jennings posted himself and says everyone's saying it's him, but he can't fit in the jacket in the picture. I thought that was hilarious.
That would make me really, really happy if fucking Alex Jones was in it.
Really? I'm so for Ronnie Radke. That's what we all are voting for right now. We're hoping. Not voting for, we're hoping for. We're praying to the rock gods. Please let Ronnie Radke...
Yeah, because that's the thing. That's the hint he gave, right? He's has someone on the track of it.
Yeah, there's somebody on the track, and it's not somebody we'd expect. Or it's Cherry Pie, which everyone's immediately going for Cherry Pie. They're going for, as far as the stars last year. So they're going Brandon Hart and Nova Rockefeller, right? That's the immediate go-to with Cherry Pie, because he always talked about Apple Pie and then Cherry Pie. Cherry Pie was as far as the stars, his collab album with them that he promised them forever and ever, amen. And it's fire. That album is awesome. But it's Tom. He's not going to go straight back to, it's Cherry Pie, and then do exactly what we expect him. If he says Cherry Pie, we expect Nova and Brandon, right? He's not going to do that. He's going to break the internet. So we're thinking it's somebody that's going to, bring in two huge groups of fans, right? So we're hoping, hey, Desiree, we're hoping for Ronnie Radke. That is my prayer, my greatest wish. Before he went on tour, he did a collab with Tom. That's what I'm hoping for. But nobody freaking knows. People were like, oh, Eminem. I'm like, yeah, nope, that ain't going to happen.
Yeah, no, that's never going to happen in a million years, I don't think, anyway.
No, I don't.
I think they're just too different, and I don't think Eminem's really about what Tom's about.
No, not at all.
And
If they were
I
in a,
don't think. I think it would be bad PR technically for Eminem.
no, it
Because
absolutely would.
with how, yeah, which is stupid, but
But on the flip
which is hilariously ironic, dude. That's so, yeah,
exactly.
so
Okay,
funny to
so
think about.
here's my rant about Eminem. So yes, it would be horrible PR for him, but here's the reason: is because of what he's involved with and all this stuff and whatever, all the expectations and the stands, right? But on the flip side of that, he was Slim Shady. I grew up with him. He was like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and your mom, fuck you. Fuck my ex-girlfriend, fuck everybody, kiss my ass, I'm the white boy rapping. Like, it was fucking fire. I have not listened to him in like 15 years, and I just don't care. But, and that's nothing against him, it's just me. I just don't usually listen to it. I don't get into all that. But the thing is that he doesn't care. He's a legend. He's cemented, right?
Yeah.
So you can't knock him out of that status. There's nothing that he can do aside from something so heinous and disgusting, right? He's not going to get knocked down from that. He is like the GOAT. He just is. So if he were to collab with him, it might not look good PR with the, the, oh my God, he collabed with Tom. Like, it might not look good in that respect. But
Yeah, which is why it's kind of like, why don't you do it?
exactly, that's my point. Like, he supposedly is the guy who doesn't give a fuck, chicka chicka Slim Shady. Like, that guy, I want him back, who doesn't care and isn't so aloof that he doesn't, he doesn't mess with the plebs because he's just too high up on the chain. I want that guy back, right? The one who was
Me
like,
too.
screw you, man. He gets on an interview and he tells people go fuck themselves. I would love everything to have him back. And it would just be killer if he was on this track. He's not. I know he's not, but,
It would be spectacular too, just because like I'm someone who I'm on the same page as you. I really liked old school Eminem, and but now on a technical level of like his metaphors and his wordplay and everything, he has improved so much. But he's just not about what he used to be about, and that's what I loved about him. If he could combine that realness with his technical abilities now, I think he would be on a whole other level than he is now.
It's almost like if he could be who he was but not lose who he was through gaining his technicality. If he could have kept... I don't know how else to put that.
He kind of lost me, like, during, like, I think it was at Encore a little bit. Like, but I didn't really, like, listen to anything after that, really, except Relapse, because I heard it was really bad. And I was like, no way. Like, Eminem didn't put out, like, just a crap album. Then I listened to it, and I mean, I didn't like it. And even, like, the one good song, Beautiful, on it, which was, like, all about, like, telling his daughter to, like, be themselves. It kind of made me mad because there was no self-awareness with the fact that all Eminem did back in the day was berate people for being themselves. And I was just like, dude, you kind of have to address that if you're going to talk about that. Especially if you're talking to, like, your daughter. Like you have to show that self-awareness. Otherwise, why listen to it, Like, because especially, like, as a kid, I mean, you look for any reason not to listen to your parents. So
right.
you kind of have to address all your shit. And I'm not saying I didn't get enjoyment out of Eminem doing that. That was great fucking... all the Britney Spears digs and Christina Aguilera digs. I fucking loved that shit. But as you grow, you get wiser, but you do have to address the past, I feel like. And when you don't, it just makes you look like you're not self-aware, and you're just not self-aware.
Well, I mean, he's got to know that he's not the same person he was, which nobody expects him to be because he's grown up. He's, not the age that he was. He's not in the era that he was. But, as much as we want...
changed so much, too,
Well, I mean, we want him to stay who he was then. But, everybody's got to grow up sometime. They got to change. They got to do something different, or else people... It's like... And people that have heard it know the song Shut the Fuck Up, STFU by Tom. They know what I'm talking about. It's that thing, I do this, I do that, Everything that they do, it's just never good enough. You tell them to do this, they do that, and they don't like it. You want to go back to what they were doing. You do that, and they go say, no, go do this thing. And so it's like pulling constantly. So you just can't even, you can't do whatever the mainstream want. Not mainstream, I'm talking about what fans want, but everybody wants. Just do you. Do what you want to do. Put out the music you want to put out. You know this. Put out what you want to. You know?
Yeah, I feel like that's a sure way in hip hop, anyways, to be ridiculed.
Yeah.
In any other genre, I hate to say this because I really do. I look at hip hop as an art. I'm not this like tribal guy or anything like with artists or anything, but it just seems like people overlook the art, the artistic side of hip hop, and they look at it more of a trendy kind of way a lot of the times.
True.
But it's like look at Radiohead for. I don't know if you're a fan of them or not, but
one song.
One Creep.
Mm.
Creep?
Yeah.
It is?
Of course.
Yeah. That's like their worst song. Everyone loves it.
All the covers are freaking amazing. It's just, it's haunting and it's good. I like it. That's the whole thing. You don't have to like it. I like it. If you like other stuff that they've done, I never got into them to that level to know other things that they did. But I know that they were good lyrically. I knew that.
Well, let's put it this way. Their album OK Computer, it's cemented as one of the most influential albums of all time. Probably rightly so. It basically paved the way for like mainstream artists like Muse and Coldplay and other people like that. And it kind of changed the mainstream pop scene. And after that album, which was a mostly guitar heavy album with normal instruments, normal drum sounds, all that. After that album, they came back with Kid A, which was a almost completely without like band drums. It was all like sampled things, weird sounds, and in any world, like in if that happened in hip hop, let's say, I feel like most people would have been like, yeah, fuck these guys, I'm done with them. But with Radiohead, everyone, like, it became this thing where it was like, I don't know which album's better because they're so amazing both in their own right. And that's that thing that I feel like's missing in hip hop sometimes, which sucks because it doesn't let people experiment to the degree that I wish they would.
Well, that's the thing, is that there's, in my opinion, there's a couple different types of listeners, right? There's the ones who are like, ooh, bruh, this is awesome. Let's listen to this. Yeah, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang. I've heard of it. I've actually never heard the song on purpose. Like, I've avoided it. I've, of course, heard it referred to a million times. I know there's no substance. I just don't care. Now, take on the flip side of that. Turn Down for What? That had no lyrical content. Like, there was zero, but it was a banger. It was just fun. It was fun, and the video was fun. Everything was fun, but she just took it for what it was worth, right?
Yeah.
And you have the people who are just like, oh my god, come up with something that I can, like, shake my ass to. Okay, fine. So then what cracks me up on that side of things is that you have these people who are, oh my god, you gotta listen to my lyrics. I'm like, you're half naked. Females, by the way, I'm talking about females. You're half naked. You are showing everything and talking about your pussy. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't care what your lyrical content is. Like, I don't care. But the other people, they're like, oh yeah, oh my god, she's so sexy. I'm like, okay. She does this, she does that. You can literally see it. Like, how sexy is it that everyone in the world has seen it? That's, to me, that's not sexy, but okay. Do you, boo-boo. That's fine. But
I'd rather have, like, Mr. Bean make, like, a banger. Like I'd rather look at Mr. Bean do some shit.
But on the flip side of that,
if I want to see a hot chick dance around, I go to Pornhub. Like, what the fuck is this? What is this, like, obsession with making all these singers and rappers sexy? It's like, at the end of the day, that's not talent. It's genetics. Or you paid for it.
It's the same with, like, for example, movies. Like, I like the old movies. I like where they could sing, they could dance, they could act. Now, their acting wasn't great necessarily because the content, the art, the writers weren't that great, but they could, they could sing and dance. Fred Astaire, Grace Kelly, like all these people back in the day, Bing Crosby, like all of them, Dean Martin, even Jerry Lewis, like they had it all. They could do it all because that's what it took to be like a celebrity in Hollywood, right? But
Yeah, it
now
was based on the merit. It wasn't
right.
based on how you looked.
It was talent. It was
Yeah.
actual
Dude,
talent.
like, like
Savvy
Robert.
strip club, here I come. Let's go. Strip club.
Let's go. Fucking, but yeah, I mean, like, no one would throw dollars at fucking Robert Plant. Like that dude's ugly as sin. But dude, the dude's talented as all hell. You know, it's like what happened to the industry? That's why I'm so like against it. It's all about the visuals and it's less about the art. And I mean, like, not to say that there's not people who are very attractive in the industry that can really make a good song, but it's obviously the looks are the priority, and it doesn't do the art any damn good.
Exactly, I agree. That's what I was saying.
I don't know. That's a frustrating one for someone who makes music. That's a very frustrating one.
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't get me wrong. I like music that I can just be like, here, let's go. But it's not the ones that are talking about subject matter that just grosses me out. Or it's just like, well, that was lame, There's, for example...
I mean, there used to be subtlety, too. Like, Michael Jackson, like, Pretty Young Things, like, like that's a fun song, but then you like listen to songs nowadays, like, and like you'll hear like people just straight up saying like, I want to fuck you. It's like, where's the cleverness? Where's the innuendo? Where's the fun about it? Like there's nothing interesting about it. It's just like you're just like, I want to fuck you. It's like, who cares? Like anyone could say that.
For example, there is an artist that I actually like, and a couple of her songs are really good for me personally, and that's BB Rexa. Have you ever heard of her?
No, I have not.
Okay,
this is why we need like a thing where we can actually pull up the song so we can hear it.
Well, there's a song called "I'm a Mess," and the chorus goes, "Everything's gonna be right, everything's gonna be okay. It's going to be a good life." That's what my therapists say. It's just like, I'm a mess, I'm a loser, I'm a hater, I'm a user, I'm a mess for your love, it ain't new. I'm obsessed, I'm embarrassed, I don't trust no one around us, I'm a mess for your love, it ain't new. It's just, but and I don't play the songs because obviously, I don't want to get into all about the copyright and crap like that. But that song was a banger at the time it came out, right? And it just resonated with me. It had decent lyrics. I don't care if she writes them or not. She performed them. She didn't have to talk about her pussy in order to get the lyrics across. I don't necessarily need you to be Adele, but I don't necessarily need you to be like Megan Thee Stallion, who came, I'm pretty sure, from Houston, if I'm not mistaken, because I remember I had a DJ that was here in Houston that I talked to all the time. And he was all obsessed with Megan Thee Stallion. And then when I figured out who she was, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, right. Oh,
like,
you're that kind of guy.
You just lost a couple DJ points for me, honey bunny. Like, I'm done. But, okay, cool. You got your, oh my God, it's Megan Thee Stallion. If I saw her, I'd be like, I wouldn't know who she was walking down the street because I don't watch her content. But there's the flip side, the other side of people that listen to music, the people who
listen.
Yes, listen. People who listen, who appreciate lyrics, who it doesn't matter if it's a banger. It doesn't have to be a banger. Like, not everything has to be a banger. But my banger, I'm gonna say this sounds so horrible. My banger is not necessarily your banger, right? So what I think is amazing might not be what you think is amazing. I like Creep, the original song, but the covers that people do are fucking fire. All these covers that people do, it's haunting.
Yeah, if you just look at the song, like, see, that's where like people seem to conflate things too. Like, even if they don't like just the original song, it's like sometimes people just can't differentiate the sonics from the song written, you know? And it's like, if you put different sonics on it, you would like it, you know? And some people just can't really differentiate that. But like me, I can listen to a song and not, like, for example, Smashing Pumpkins. I don't like Billy Corgan's voice.
I can't stand
really,
oh my god, somebody else can't fucking stand his voice.
I really don't like it.
I don't
But
either.
I listen to his music.
Tonight.
And I love the song.
Tonight.
Today is the great.
So weird. But it's like he writes great songs.
No, he does. He really does.
Even with his voice being that, I can tolerate it because he's a very gifted songwriter. And I think there's some people who just be like, I don't like the band because they don't like the voice. But it's like, but there's a difference between not liking the voice and not liking the content, you know? And it's like, it's important to make those distinctions. I mean, I guess not for everyone, but for me, as someone who listens to music, respects the art, and really pays attention to that stuff, it's important to me. I gotta kind of compartmentalize that.
I can see chat catching us singing. Thanks, Jess. That's how we feel.
1970.
You sound like Cartman.
Wait, where's the other one? What was that song Cartman sang? Was it Journey?
I don't even know.
What the fuck was it?
Don't stop
Yeah.
believing. Oh my god. I can't with you right now. Okay. No, but that's the thing is that honestly, I say it all the time. Like some people, for example, a perfect example was when Ben had asked Nick to react to Halocene, all the things she said. I love Tattoo. I don't care about the backstory. I just don't care. I don't care about all that and the act or not in it. I don't give a shit. I loved that song when I was growing up. But, yes, Savvy, that should be a shirt right there. But when Halocene and Violet did the All the Things She Said cover, that was amazing. It was freaking amazing. And I was like, oh, I actually like this better than the original. And there's a bunch that I like better than the original. Like, you can write good lyrics, but if your persona, if your delivery, if your personality in the video is just like disgusting, then I don't care. Like I just, it actually takes away from songs, you know. There's a lot of artists that people love that I don't listen to. But the one that you did, which was System of a Down, you didn't know this, but that album was one of my favorites. It was on repeat when I was younger. It was it still is. Like, I hear any of those songs come on. Jump, pogo, 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 bounce, pogo, 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 pogo. Like, I am there for it. All of those. It came along with Rammstein's Mutter CD and Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory. Those three were in my CD player, and I would play them all the way through. Then I would switch to the next one, or I would just go to the songs that I absolutely just had to hear over and over again. But it's that kind of music that stays with you. This WAP shit doesn't stay with anyone. It's like, WAP, everybody knows because it's controversial. Nobody cares. Just like you and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like we do on. They didn't do shit except the roof. The roof is on fire. That's all they ever did other than that I'm aware of. Oh, Nick, what's up? What's going on, my friend?
What up?
We're talking
I'm
music.
Still waiting for my fucking Here For It beanie too. I keep looking.
I think they know it's you, and they're like, he's not here for it though.
Yeah, right.
I'm just kidding.
Well, we're not here for it.
Oh, that is too funny. But no, I lost my train of... Nick distracted me. I lost my train of thought.
Well, you were talking about a Hybrid Theory and how you would go through through it so often.
No, absolutely. And actually, I'm not gonna lie to you. The Rammstein's Mutter was. I went through that more. And it wasn't in English, so what does that tell you? But
Huh.
System of a Down, that album was fire, and I went through that over and over. And like I said, if you needed lyrics, you just hit me up, man. I have them all memorized. I got it. I got you.
I was liking the lyrics. They're just so like they kind of like come out of left field. Like it's just very strange vocabulary. And I don't say strange in a bad way. I don't mean that to have a bad connotation. It's just it's peculiar. It's not what you normally would hear. Like eating seeds is a pastime activity. Like that's such a strange way of saying something in that kind of rock song. And,
True.
I love it because it's just interesting. It's new. There's a novelty to it.
Well-
and, plus his voice, like it's crazy that like how long did that album come out?
Eating seeds. I'm sorry. I can't do that.
That did sound Armenian. He's yeah, but it's like that album came out like 20 years ago, I think.
Over, yeah, because I was like 18 and I had it in my car when I was working in Kansas, and had my got into the medical billing. That's where it all started. But
Yo.
I would work 3 to 11, so I would be there out at night. I was like, "Ooh, I'm out at night,"
But it's like his voice sounds new now.
Yes.
It's because nobody else has or did do anything like the way he sounded.
Okay, so
And,
Skulls,
that
I'm
just
gonna.
shows you how much of a landscape like the creative arts are in the mainstream anyways. Like if you dig, you can find some really creative people, but on the mainstream, like it's like you will not find anything.
Why does that make me laugh?
Toxicity.
Of the city, of the city. Okay, sorry, I'm done. I'm done.
Go.
Nobody owned the world. I own disorder. Okay, I was singing that all day after watching that. I can't. I'm not gonna lie, because it's one of my favorite songs of all time. It just is. And then of course my brain goes straight to jump, pogo, 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 bounce, pogo, pogo. So yeah, if you haven't heard that song, then you don't know what I'm talking about. But it's okay. It talks about cocaine, and yeah, it's fun. But
Yeah.
I just can't. That was just too much fun though, because the whole time that you were listening to it, when you were not talking, I was jamming and I was singing out loud in my house. I was like, blah, 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 blah. All the lyrics, the whole 9 yards. My cat looked at me like I was crazy, and then he tried to steal my Cheetos. It was just. It was a
Your
good time.
cat was like pointing at you like disorder.
Did you mute me? The static went away. Wait, what?
Cat's the one with all the power. I can't mute nothing.
That's the way it should be. No, I'm kidding. Wait, am I quiet? You can't hear me? I can talk all kinds of shit now. Let's go. And then you could react to what I'm talking about, and they can't hear me.
Don't be so certain, Cat. Make sure dot your I's and cross your T's.
Plus, there's what? There's static? Like, I didn't know that.
I'm definitely hearing some room temperature.
What?
Or like I'm hearing some room temperature, or I don't know if that's a fan or.
I was vibrating with excitement, okay?
Whoa. The toxicity.
Do you still hear it?
No, it sounds way better.
Fuck. All right. Boil here by myself. It's okay.
Sorry. If you hear Cat start panting, you know why. Have you actually ever seen a cat like pant?
Yes. You said take my
I
cat
didn't know
to the
they
vet.
did that.
Stick them in the car, and they'd sit in the back window and pant like crazy people.
I didn't fucking know they did that. I saw it for the first time like maybe a year or two ago. And I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with this thing? My wife was like, yeah, it's just panting. I'm like, that's not a thing.
It is a
She was
thing.
like, I assure you, it is.
Nick, it was
But
the
alright.
it was the ambiance. I was trying to like make an ambiance, and apparently they don't like it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know,
I like how you tried to. I like how you disguised that as you were trying to do the listeners a favor.
I was. I really was. Like, I didn't think, I thought, you know, if I didn't say something for a minute, you'd want some white noise to, like, you know, still your heart a little bit because you missed me. Like, so. I don't even know what I'm saying right now.
I don't know what you're saying either.
That works for
You're
me.
lost.
At least I'm not on my ass on the floor. So there.
That's true. Have they? Did you throw that out? Did they come get that, or is that
I
just
need to do
chilling?
it tomorrow because I've missed two trash days where I just left it in the breezeway and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta bring that shit out to the. But I don't want anybody to think that I broke my chair because I'm fat. Like I don't want that to happen. So I'm thinking of breaking it more just for fun, just so that people like, wow, that thing really got demolished. And be like, yeah, that's right. Don't fuck with me.
You think there's like a neighbor like with a notepad trying to figure out your life? Like,
The
look
guy
at that chair.
across the
What the
street.
fuck happened to that chair?
The dude across the street, man, I'm telling you, he's a bully and an asshole. And after he got into it, the guy down the street for shooting his dog, like, look, he's just not right in the head anymore.
Okay, all right. No, I get it now.
He's literally across the street, and he like has his big old truck. He's parked in his yard today. I'm like, you are the trailer park guy of the neighborhood. Like you just are. Like you're that guy. But that's okay. You know, do you. Just don't tell me that, you know, a rub would do him good. Like, he used to text me and tell me a rub would do him good. I'm like, no, I'm good. He's
Oh,
like,
rub-a-dub-dub.
he's like, a nice rub would do me good right now. I'm like, that's nice. Thanks for sharing. Take care. Like, I don't, what do you say to
Sounds
that?
like a whole bitch.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even know what to talk to about. And then he was like, your
Why are
kid's
you-
a bully. I'm like, okay. And he's like, you better fucking do something. I'm like, okay, so you're not? Like, whatever. So we don't
Can
talk.
we talk about just guys are so fucking weird these
Yes.
days.
Yes, they are.
They're so fucking weird. It like I'm ashamed to be a dude. Like it's so unbelievable. Like because like what me and my wife, like my wife gets like DMs all the time from randos, and we'll just look at them together and be like, what the fuck's wrong with these people? Like it's wild. Oh, good night, DK. But
Have a
yeah,
good
it's
day.
absolutely wild. Like I love hearing the stories from different girls just because it just cracks me up. Like it's like you can't make this shit up.
Oh, shit.
The Russian.
Oh, shit. They're back. Run. Get them. Hold on.
Watch. Put that into Google Translate, and it'll in English it'll be disorder.
Don't say that because I'm about to. I want to see what they're saying to us. Speaking
I mean,
out for people
yeah.
with intellectual what disability? What?
Get the Russian. That's not very PC.
Lord
No.
have mercy.
No one cares if you make fun of Russians. Am I wrong?
I was about to do a Russian
Go
accent.
get
but
CNN. They'll be like, nope, we don't have a story tonight.
Because, you know, Russians are bad and good depending on, like, what information they give them. So,
Yeah. If you could put the word Trump and Russian together, then it will be a story.
well, apparently, I saw in the news today a couple fun things. My mother likes to send me things. She likes to send me, you know, information. Some of it I'm not going to talk about because I just don't need the disclaimer on the video about what's true and what's not. You know what I'm talking about. But aside from that, I did see that supposedly Biden insulted Martin Luther King Jr.'s memory or legacy or something. I was like, yeah, I'm not clicking on that shit today. Like, nope. And I just bypassed it, like swiped it away. Like, I gotta go.
Every
wish-
time I see Biden on screen, I just know there's nothing to be had
Yeah. Well,
by watching it.
I did like your post earlier. I did enjoy the the dog and the pillow. That
Oh, the
was
Pelosi thing, yeah, yeah. It's true. She looks strange, man.
well,
Most politicians do,
60 years of plastic surgery will do that to somebody.
yeah, that's like abuse of Botox there. That's a lot of collagen.
At some point, your age is just like, you thought you could get away with this, but you can't.
Nope.
No.
But that is a weird thing, actually, if you think about it. Like all politicians, like Nixon had a weird way of talking, Clinton had a weird way of talking, Trump does, Obama does. Like it's all very distinct.
Yes. Well, you
I
don't.
wonder, like, what is that? What the fuck is that?
But think about it though. Think about it though. Okay, so, and this is completely off the rails, but like you don't necessarily like you want to know that if someone's talking, you can kind of hear it, and you're like, oh, that's so and so, right? Like you know my voice, I know your voice, I know Jess's voice, I know Savvy's voice, I know Meow's voice, I know Nick's voice, I know most of the people that are in here. I know everybody's voice, right? So you can, it's distinct, and not saying that it's necessarily distinct in and of itself. That don't take that wrong, but because of their status in my life, their voice is more distinct. I'm going to recognize it more. So there's people that come from Minnesota or Wisconsin, and I recognize like the Lawrence Welk type of accent that they have, and I can kind of pinpoint what area of the country that they're from. Of course, like, if people talk like from the South, you can kind of guess, but that's not always true, blah, blah, blah. I just think their voices are more distinct because of who they are and the impact they have, whether it be like positive or negative. So you hear someone, you're like, oh my God, you're full of shit. Every time you talk, you're full of shit. You remember that more than you remember somebody who sounds kind of sort of the same, but just is like talking about, HIPAA law. Like nobody cares. I mean, we care.
Yeah,
We care,
like,
guys. We actually care about your PHI and keeping your information private. Okay? Anyway, I'm just saying. Like the people on the videos I had to watch the other day about HIPAA policy. Like, oh my God, shoot me now. Or the don't harass. I had to learn how not to harass people. That was fun. That was fun. And I was,
that, yeah.
and I'm like, apparently.
Me and my wife, we used to like actually work at the same job, and she had to do like the sexual harassment thing, and she was like, "Holy fuck! If only they knew."
Well, see, what's funny is that I do actually recognize what you say sometimes as being from Minnesota. I recognize it from like Bobby's World type shit. But here's a fun fact. People don't know who Lawrence Welk is, so when I tell them it's a Lawrence Welk accent, they're like, huh? I'm like, never mind, you're not cultured. I don't talk to them anymore.
You know a good state, if you're thirsty, you know a good state to go to?
No.
Minnesota.
Wow. Really? I thought it was going to be like a thirsty bitch. Like, if you want like the plastic.
No, it was a fucking shit show of a dad joke. That's what that was.
Great. That's so funny.
Those are the type of jokes my dad used to tell me all the goddamn time.
Oh my God.
I just rolled my eyes.
Well, it came from that song. What the Delaware boys? What the Delaware? She wore her New Jersey. She wore her New Jersey, right?
Yep. They're all so bad.
Savvy, why would I not talk to you anymore? I talk to you all the time. Well, I don't talk to you all the time because we're just never on at the same time in a voice chat. But I talk to a lot of people. Actually, no, I don't. I don't talk to hardly anybody anymore because I'm talked out. You just get to that point where you're talked out for a couple weeks and then suddenly you're on voice chat all the time and then suddenly you just don't. Like, nope, I'm just going to listen to other people talk or not at all.
I hear that. And sometimes it's just like getting away from the internet and getting back into real life.
Mm-hmm.
For me anyways, like sometimes I just need to get away from the electronics and just focus on what I'm doing in front of me.
Well,
Because you can be everywhere at once in your phone or you're
yep,
on the computer,
yep.
and it's just too much sometimes. Like that's actually a funny thing with I don't want to keep going back to that, but there was something in that Radiohead album I really like. There's a song called Idiotic, and it's all about that. And the hook is like, "Here I'm allowed everything all the time," and I'm pretty sure the song is about the internet and the effects it would have on people as it was coming. Because that album came out in like 2001, I think. But I mean, like that's how it feels, man. Like if you have like ADD, your ADD is gonna get way worse if you're online all the time. Just there's no sense of focus when you're online.
No, of all people, I understand that because I could be a million
You have
places at
50
once.
tabs open.
I do. I'm that person. Like when I was working and stuff, and I will be soon again. Like I'll have all these tabs open. I'm doing this. My phone's going off. I'm answering that. I'm doing this, and then at some point, your brain just is like, nope, not doing that anymore, and it just
Yeah, you have
stops.
to like shut off.
Like it just is like no, you have to like hone in and focus. So what I do is I go and read my books, and I just tune everything out, and I don't talk. And before it was because I was sick, but recently it's been like I've just focused on like a book or whatever, because what's happening right now in my life is, with a new job, my trainers are both off today, so I'm just like sitting there twiddling my thumbs like I know what you want me to do, but you haven't given me instruction on like what steps in your company I can take to fix it. So until you come back tomorrow, I'm just gonna like identify problems and just type them up. And then I typed up like 38 problems. And I'm like, yeah, this kind of sucks. I could just fix them if I knew how, and I would take an hour. Otherwise, I can type them up. It would take me 6 hours, and this just makes no sense. So I just sit there looking at the sky, looking out my window, like, oh, my cat is trying to steal my Cheetos. Like, that's literally how I was today. So when I get off work, immediately I'm in my book because I'm sick of staring at a screen, hoping somebody's going to say something and they don't. Which is something else. It's that whole feeling of, what's it called? It's something that like Tom talked about in Balloons, right? He's talking about he's addicted to the internet, and he needs the attention. He like trying to get away from it. It messes him up just as much as being involved and getting all the hateful comments. Trying to shut it down and be like, you know what, I don't need that. I can do other things with my life. It also messes him up because it is an addiction. That attention is an addiction. The response is an addiction. Whenever we post, okay, I don't care whether it's sincere, whether it's for clout, whether it's for attention. It doesn't matter, right? When we post, the intention is that people will see it. We think someone else might like it. So if no one notices, and this happens consistently, that can cause issues too, right? So my way of getting away from that, of not trying to get the attention and talk to every single person that ever runs across my path, is to dive into a book, because then I tune everything out. Like everything's gone, but the story that I'm into, like I get really into it. So, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Like you can get the companionship, the community, the friendships that you can't necessarily get in person right now. Or you, like for me personally, I have my mom in this area. That's the only person I know. I know two coworkers I talk to that live in this vicinity, like within like 45 minutes. That's it. I never hang out. I never go see them. We don't like see each other in person. So online is where I get my interactions and my, when I talk to people and really like my friendships. But there's a point where it's like, oh, well, nobody's online. Oh, well, nobody's here. Oh, well, nobody's responding. Oh, well, everybody's muted my channel. Like you get to that moment where it can be overwhelming. And even having my own server, I know that people have muted it because they don't want pings. They don't want when we are active, they don't want to hear about it because they're busy, or they don't just, I'll go in there when I feel like it. and it's not like it matters that they do that. It's fine. But on the other hand, on the flip side, if you're somebody who's trying to get the community going, you're trying to get people talking, and then there's no responses, it can be devastating. I've known people with servers that they would go in and nothing would happen. And all of a sudden, they're like, well, apparently nobody cares, nobody's here. So, and they would shut it down.
Oh yeah.
You've just got to have
get
that. You have to have an alternate, and you have to step back, and people just have to understand. You just got to step back, because I've been highly involved, online for a long time. And I know you have. I've dragged your ass in there. I've dragged you
Oh
into
yeah.
being involved online. And sometimes you've got a lot of stuff going on. You've got your music, you've got, the music videos, you've got new stuff coming down in the works. You've got your reaction channel. You've got all these different things. Sometimes things go on the back burner, and sometimes you get burnt out without ever touching those things that are on the back burner, and you just need to take a break.
Yeah, yeah. You get sometimes you just get too close to things and you just need to back off for a while. Uh,
And I'll say it a million times: real life over internet, anytime, all the time, every time. Like, that's just how it is. It has to be.
well, it's like I just think it's good for your mind too, because like you're just. I think the more you're more present, and the more you are in the world you're in, um, just the better you are as a person. Usually, like the more you give into the internet and the more you dive into there, I just feel like more people's ugliness comes out, and then that can translate into your real life. Um, obviously not for everyone, but
That's true.
I see that with a lot of people. Just because like even in itself, like if you're talking to someone like like at dinner, and they're in their phone, like boom, right there, like you're being worse to the people right in front of you. It's just rude. It's like someone's trying to talk to you and you're just ignoring them for everyone else.
And that's the thing, like, for example, that's one of the pitfalls of doing, for example, this conversation live. Because we know there's a chat going on right now, right? We know it's there. But I personally I'm so weird. I look up into the side when I'm getting into a conversation, and I don't watch it, because what happens is, in the middle of me talking about something that's like sincere, serious, whatever, I trip up and I'm like, oh, okay, have a good night. And I'm like, that's not quite the aesthetic I'm looking for, because we're in the middle of a conversation. So I'm like, you get torn between that.
Yeah,
And
no,
then
I
I
see
feel,
what you mean, but I don't take it that way at the same time. But I would probably feel the same way too if I did that,
but
because I'm
that's
I'm like interrupting our conversation.
right.
It just seems a little, yeah. But yeah, but at the same time, it's like no, you're not doing anything wrong. But yeah,
No,
no,
exactly.
I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
I get both ways, where and people think that I don't see the chat. I see the chat. I'm watching the whole time. That's what I do. I do that everywhere. I watch the chat, like,
Somebody's watching me.
and everywhere that I go, like every server that I'm on, not every server, but the ones that I'm active in, everybody knows where they are. The notifications pop up. But if I'm busy, I look at them. If there's something that comes up and I need to say something, I will say something. And the way that I'm talking off of a notification is I don't reply to you. I respond, and it's not attached to your message, because I'm doing it off a notification. You can't reply. You can just like post. So that's it. Hint, hint. That's just a little insight. But that means that I saw something and I felt like I needed to say something because I was doing something else. But it's just one of those things where, on one hand, there are people that are homebound, or they're hermits like me, who don't go anywhere. They don't know anyone in their area. Their lives, I'm not going to say their lives are online, but they have a family, but that's where they get their friendships and their interaction. And I understand that, but all of us have to step back sometimes. And sometimes you're like, you know what? I'm going to do me for like a day or so, 12 hours, 8 hours, 48 hours. It doesn't matter. And you just do you. And when you come back, we're still here. Like, we're still around. Usually that's how that works. But it's just, taking that break is so important, because sometimes you just have to like turn away, close the laptop, shut off the screen, do whatever, turn off the phone, mute your notifications for a little while, and just watch a TV show, read a book, talk to your family, go on a trip, take a, whatever the case, go to Walmart, God, for God's sake, without being completely immersed into the online, because I can get so distracted by being on Discord. If I actually had all of the servers unmuted, I would never get a minute, ever, literally ever. I have to
I
mute
believe
them
it.
constantly.
You screen shared with me. I've seen them shits go off.
Yeah. I mean, it's
That shit's
constant.
wild.
And I can, but the thing is you have to know how to separate. Like, I can see the notifications pop up and I can ignore them, not because I'm ignoring the person or I am downgrading what they're saying or I'm not participating, but because at this moment, I see what's happening. So I see what's going on, but I let it go. I just let it go and I pay attention, but out of the corner of my eye, instead of like, oh, I have to say something. Hold on.
Mm-hmm. This is what they call dead air.
I'm still here.
Did I sing as Cartman? Okay. I was gonna sing as Cartman.
Please do.
No.
Savvy, exactly. Working here, that's your life these days.
What?
Nothing. I want you to keep talking. I want you to keep singing.
I can't do it.
But no, like, Savvy's right. Like, working here, that's your life. I work from home, and
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's easy to conflate it sometimes if you have good friends online.
yeah,
Like I remember that, even here in even back in the day, and when I used to play on Xbox 360 back in the day, in fucking high school, it was like I met some people where it was like, yo, these people are like close friends, and but you have to remember, bro, just think of the impact if you actually met those people online. It's like that's what's important, actually, being there, and it's easy to forget that online, I think.
well, that's the reason that I don't want to meet people that are online, because that's my biggest fear, to be honest.
It's literally like a smaller version of VR. It's like you can get wrapped up in virtual realities and in
Yeah.
make it your reality, but there's absolutely no, well, not absolutely no consequence, but there's little consequence compared to the realities that are in front of you.
Which is both good and bad, because I mean that's one of our
Yes,
biggest that's one of our biggest issues right now in society. I'm not gonna lie, it's honest to God, it's social media and the fact that there are no consequences for people that are gonna talk shit. People that are sitting there trolling other people, because let me tell you right now, you say that to my face. Say it to my face. See what happens. Say it to your face. Say it to anybody that's anybody's face. You're not going to have the same outcome. You're not going to say the same things, but people have no consequences because they can just post and walk away, or they can post behind a computer screen and they can hide behind it and do whatever they want. And it's really hard to find those people that what they're posting is what they mean. And that's what I feel like this community is about, is like, what I say is what I mean. I am exactly who I say I am. I talk on voice chat the same way that I talk on text, that I talk on the text messages, that I talk on the phone. I am who I am. I'm not apologetic, but I'm not a bitch. Like, I'm not a horrible, heinous bitch. I'm not going to be nasty to you just because. Give me a reason, I'll find a reason. You know what I'm saying? But you are, Jess. You're going to come see me. That's exactly true. But I'm just saying, like, there's people that can blossom, right? Being in a community, sitting in a chat. And in fact, live chats are huge right now on YouTube. People want to be heard. That's why they spam. They spam people over and over, like, please see me, please see me, please see me. And sometimes it's just like hey, I really appreciate you and I want to be here for you. I want to be here to, for whatever the content is, right? But they want to be seen. They want to be heard. They want to have their voice heard. And when
Yeah.
you can get a group of people together where they never have to feel like they have to jump up and down and wave their hands in the air to get heard because we're all there and we're all together. I don't know how else to put that. I don't even know an eloquent way to put that. It's the community. It matters. It really matters. And I feel bad for
Saying
people
what
that
you
don't
mean
have
matters.
that.
Yeah. Well, a weird thing I noticed about doing these shorts too was, and it's probably very evident to you, but people are much more negative with the smaller bite size entertainment, and I think that has to do with like since it's a shorter commitment, it's of little consequence to them. That makes sense. It's kind of like Twitter,
Yes.
where you're confined to so many characters.
Ugh.
So, and it's like with that, it's just like rewards impulsivity.
Yes.
And like I feel like the fact that like shorts are so short, they also reward impulsivity, opposed to like I get much less negative feedback on my reactions because they're much more of a commitment. Like you have to sit there and you have to actually use your brain a little bit and like watch something and think about something and then formulate a coherent sentence. But with shorts, TikTok, Twitter, all that seems to just reward people for being dicks. And that's a
Well,
weird thing too. It's like the longer you wait and the longer you I don't it's that's a weird thing. It seems like the more impulsive you are as a person, um the weirder it gets, you know? Like if you're able to bite your tongue and hold on a second and actually think about things, you you're just kind of more positive. Does that make sense?
no, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Unless we get to your shorts, which on TikTok, which are bullshit because I want the whole song, and it makes me angry. Like I go
Well,
I rage. I'm like, oh my god, where's the rest? But I don't get on TikTok. I have no interest. I don't know. I have a thing where I get what you're saying because honestly, it's a commitment to sit here. Like, it's a commitment for anybody to be here and listening to us talk. It's a commitment because you start at the beginning and we get started and we start talking and then we change subjects and you just don't know what's going to happen and all that stuff. And so it's a commitment to sit here and just listen to it, right? But on the other hand, if we were to do just like a bunch of little like 10-minute like, hi, how are you? Oh, I'm fine. Hi. It isn't as genuine because it takes a minute to get into that. It takes a minute for the conversation to get going. It takes a minute to go off on a tangent. It just takes a fucking minute. And for me,
yeah,
it
there's
just
mistakes along
it
the way.
it irritates me that people just can't give things a freaking minute. It has to be within 30 seconds or less, 15 seconds or less. It just, it just makes me mad.
And one of the worst things too is like with those shorts, those TikToks, they're all staged and fake, but they
Yes.
try to make it seem like they're real.
My
People
favorite
buy it.
is when people have like something that's interesting and you kind of watch and what happens is they put them all on YouTube in a compilation. So you watch them do a couple interesting things, you're like, oh, okay. And then you see them making their TikToks, like you see them doing a video of themselves making their TikToks and you're like, so it's even worse than I thought. Like I can't remember who it was. This guy was like, every time he would make these faces and he would play his mom and he'd play himself and then he had a brother and it was just like he would do these gasping like things. Okay, so there's this video that my daughter was watching last night. And literally she would I don't know how to put this. She was watching this video and then he did this TikTok of him making the TikToks and he was like he had it like scripted where he's like his mom's character and he'd be like, you go clean your room, and then he'd go to his phone and he'd poke a few buttons and he'd go, because I said so, and he'd go to his phone and he'd poke a few buttons and then he like took off all the stuff that made him look like his mom and he's like, but I don't want to. Like it made it 8 million times lamer than it was in the beginning, which was hard to do. I didn't think that that level of lame was achievable, but apparently it is. And if I can figure that out,
People like it. Oh,
they
people
do.
like it.
Like my teenager, legitimately, like she's one of those. She like scrolls through TikTok constantly. There's this. I grew up with commercials where you ran and you went to the bathroom on the commercial, right? You ran. And then you would go get your snack or you do whatever and you'd run. Oh, it's on. Oh, it's on. Oh, and you all go running back, right? You picked one channel and that was that. Like, you just all sat there and you watched it. There was like 6 channels on cable and it went up to like 35. We're like, oh my God, 35. And then there's HBO and Stars. Oh my God, what are we going to do? Like, that's what I grew up in the 90s. That's just how it was. You listen to the radio to hear music. I know that you could go on like LimeWire. You can go on Napster and stuff. Napster was OG, right? Until they got nailed and everybody thought they were going to jail. But still, like you had patience because you dialed up and it took like 3 minutes. You could go to the bathroom, go get something to drink, and then you could come back and you probably still weren't online. It just is what it is. And
That's
now
the thing, I think.
it's 15
Yeah.
seconds. If you don't entertain the fuck out of me in 15 seconds, I'm out. I'm going to scroll to something else. I just, to me, and then what it's entertaining them is this plastic, superficial bullshit. And it drives me crazy. And you don't have kids yet. You should be so thankful. Because
I don't want fucking kids, dude. I don't like to subject them to this.
my mom actually said that. She told me that she was glad I was older right now than I was before when I started having kids. She's glad I'm older now because I'm not necessarily having babies in this like world in this society.
I think everyone who died before the internet were the luckiest people. Like, they didn't have to see, like, Bill Cosby be a rapist. All their heroes get taken down and shit, you know? But, like, the internet came out and just destroyed everyone's dreams, their heroes, and we just got too much information, just complete information overload, and we lost our patience because, like you were saying, just like entertained the fuck out of me, and yeah, it's just things. Just I think the internet really was the fall of things.
No, it really
And
was.
I think it's just because we don't know what it is and how to use it. At least not according to like our biology and how we're set up. More Russians.
What? Really? I'm not on the screen.
Yeah, we got another mushroom.
Rude.
I was gonna say another Russian, but I almost said another mushroom.
You know, I clicked it and just got it first. Like, I'm usually pretty fast, but I had to change screens, so.
Yeah. I hear you.
No, and I'm not trying to be necessarily negative. I'm just more along the lines of, it's just a conversation. It's interesting. It's interesting to talk about. It's interesting to think about. Like, us right now doing a podcast, legitimately, we could be, for lack of a better way to put it, we could literally be radio personalities, right? We could literally be on the radio 25, 30 years ago on the radio talking about whatever and have a show that people are interested in, possibly, right? I mean, it's kind of sort of the same thing. Hey, Mark, what's up?
Yeah.
I just saw
we're-
him pop in.
I was just writing that.
I just read that. Sorry. Oh, okay. Well, Jess, I appreciate you. This one isn't planned. By the way, we weren't planning on going for very long tonight because we're tired and we're just like, ugh. And there's a lot of stuff going on. I know Nick's going live tomorrow. I know that Tom has a song on Friday, so there's a lot of stuff happening. I know that Jen was live earlier. XMC's live. There's just a lot of things going on, so we're not going to stay on here basically very much longer at all. We just wanted to jump on and say hi and see how people were doing. Just talk about some stuff and, have a conversation and, we can do it again at some point.
Hey, Jared.
Hey, Jared.
Glad you could make it for a second.
Hey, anything is appreciated, to be honest. I mean, we're just doing this for fun. We're having the conversations for fun. It's for the community. So if there are things you guys want to talk about or have opinions about or want us to talk about, put them in the comments. Like, subscribe, comment. I never get to say that, so I just got to say that.
Yeah.
But comments matter. Like, they boost the algorithm. Not like there's going to be 8,000 people or 800,000 people that are going to be. But there might be in the future. So, just saying.
Yeah, we might get there. I mean, hey, you never know. You never know. People want to talk to you, Kat.
I don't know why. I just... bleh.
Yeah, you're a good time. And you're not dumb. And you're not patronizing. And you're not dishonest. That's always a nice thing. Too many people will tell you what you want to hear or disagree with you to agree with you. You kind of Indiana Jones cut your way through all that bullshit and keep it real.
Well, I hope so. That's my entire intention. There's nothing that I hate more than people that are pulling one over on somebody else or just saying something just because people... I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a difference between, hey, I'd really like to talk about this versus I want to hear you have an opinion that is this. It's completely two different things.
Oh, yeah.
I will not. I'm not an echo chamber. I will not agree if something I don't agree with. Like he said, he doesn't like "Creep" by Radiohead, but I do. It doesn't matter. It's just a difference of opinion. It doesn't matter, and people need to understand that there's Nick. You're Nick the Dick. I'm just sorry.
Nick the Dick.
Really? Well, you could have jumped on, Mr. Lurktastic. Just saying. You could have jumped on. You could jump on now, but, you're just lurking.
Why does hashtag I as well sound like the uppity version of Me Too?
Because it is. And it's an emoji in my server. Specifically, I requested a Me Too and an I as well for that reason.
Oh, is that really the joke?
Yes, that's what it is.
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
When Nick says I as well, he's saying me too, basically.
That's so funny. I love that.
It's a running joke, and it's great when people don't catch it because it's like, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what elsewhere meant for a while until you told me. Maybe like a month ago or something. I was like, what the hell? And it was funny. I was trying to listen to Nick talk about like what those notification sounds are, like the Joe Dirt one.
Mm-hmm.
When anyone donates or anything, and I was trying to listen to it, and then it got kind of cut off, and I didn't hear the explanation ever. I was kind of pissed off. I was like, fuck, I really always wondered what the hell that was.
Yeah, and that's the
I'm
thing.
gonna have to go find that stream and listen to it. Find it.
That's hashtag king right there. That's awesome.
Well, the nice thing about Scouse is slow is that it will never get traced back to me, considering it's not how I spell my name.
Mine takes a couple of X's, which people are like, is that like XXX? But you added an extra one. I'm like, yeah, because I wanted to be triple X. That's what it was. I wanted to be porny and weird. And I just couldn't just do 3 X's, so I had to do like 4, so it was kind of weird, and I didn't like that. By the way, fun fact, y'all don't know this. My username in like World of Warcraft and gaming and stuff was always Nympho.
Oh boy.
Yeah, like legit. So I just think that's hilarious that people would say that when it's like XX. It's like, no, it's filler because my name's Cat. And so XX is because obviously Cat's taken. Duh. So, it's only been like, 25 years ago that it was taken by every whatever site in the world. It's a rule
Like
in.
Porny. I just read that as Peter Griffin. Yeah, diarrhea.
Oh my god.
Hey, Lois, diarrhea.
But no, we're probably going to go ahead and get off here because I has to be. And we weren't planning on doing anything too much longer just because, it's Wednesday. I got to work tomorrow. I know you got stuff to do, Skulls. I know you've had a lot of stuff going on. Exactly, Mark. Nympho, always a good time. Oh, technically,
You're not wrong.
we're not going to go into that. But it was a thing. But anyway. It was a good name, and to be honest, I got a lot of free stuff from people just putting that out in the universe. So thank you, everybody that gave me free shit back then.
So this was the Nympho podcast, right?
No, I think the last one kind of sort of like edged on that. Like it edged it a little bit, but not too much. Told them I want a porny.
I feel like that word was used deliberately.
It's
Anyways,
it's always NSFW in here. This podcast is NSFW. If you are a child, you should have listened to this fucking thing, okay? Like, go to bed. What the hell? And tell your parents that they suck and you need to go to bed. Just saying.
You're right.
Kind of, sort of. Not really. Anyway, my kids are still up. So, pot kettle, let's go.
Put up bed, Bailey.
But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and jump off of here because shit to do, real life, all that fun stuff. But I will talk to y'all later. Skulls.
Signing off, people. Hope
Y'all
you enjoy the rest of your night.
have a good night.